Hello and welcome everyone to this Warcraft replay. This is going to be the first of a best of 3. Here on the map Twisted Meadows, we are going to be in the perspective of Infi, who is spawning in as the teal human player in the top left. He will be facing off against Fly, the purple orc player, and for the third time in a row now, will be coming in as the second orc player of the last 3 series. Not second, the only orc player, I should say. So let's just get those words out of the way. Yeah, so the first half of my exams have finished. I have obviously another half to go. This is just the little intermission before the big storm, I guess. So I'm gonna try and get this out of the way, and then after the exams I'll get the very final groups series out of the way as well. And then I'll probably just cast some other obscure tournament. I don't think WCA is necessary anymore, since Back to Warcraft is pretty much on the finals, or the final round of WCA, whatever. So yeah, Blade Master coming out for Fly. He will. It seems like he's going for a rather different opening. I think. A delayed barracks, that's probably the one thing I noticed. No Voodoo Lounge either. So yeah, lots of Orc Undead recently, so it's pretty much diluted my mind already. Infi, however, is just going for the standard start here. Archmage first. It seems like a reasonably timed barracks as well. Very good map for humans, I should always reiterate, Twisted Meadows, because you can just militia creep camp the very first rock golem over here and pick up a pretty good item. Scourge Bone Chimes is really great early game for a human player. Flute of Accuracy is, you know, a pretty good item as well. You just have to get to that mid game first. And, well, for now it's going to be a +6 strength item. Not too useful on the Archmage. It will help in terms of health, but other than that, it's not as, I guess, impactful as the other items I mentioned. Blade Master is moving out, and he is going to start attacking those peasants that have turned back from their militia form. Able to get one of those. Could potentially get 1 or 2 more before retreating out with that Windwalk. So it seems he got his grunt out at the same time. I guess I am just too used to the Orc Undead matchup that I just misjudged the timings of the barracks. So Stronghold tech has started for Fly, and he should be able to get those double tier 2 production buildings down, the Beastier and the Spirit Lodge. Infi, he could go for an early expansion, he could just go for an early tier 2, we'll have to wait and see. Yeah, I would say orc matchups are one of those where humans will tend to go for a quick tier 2, but yeah, not gonna judge just yet. It seems like he is saving up enough resources for it, and he will go for keep. Alright, so it's pretty much a race to get second hero and a tier 2 army. For Infi, it's pretty much the same thing. You can't really expect anything different from these two players. Fly loves to just go the normal, and Infi is not well known for going out of the normal either. Fly is going to take some harassment with his orc burrows, but a lot of peons actually being brought over to keep that burrow alive. It is also important to not get supply blocked, of course. Every strategy game, you don't want to get supply blocked. Elemental tossing down some water, but not lethal water. Doesn't seem like any peons will fall to that. Archmage once again going to harass. Meanwhile, the Blade Master is farming out at this Knoll Overseer camp. He has to react pretty quickly, otherwise by the time he reacts his Blade Master might be a little too low health to actually deal with this. So level 3 on the Archmage, as we did have long distance creeping over here on the minimap. The Orc Burrows appears to be staying alive still. Yeah, Infi doesn't have enough units to actually burn it down, so right now he's just forcing Fly to actually burn resources instead of actually aiming for that destruction of the Orc Burrow. Infi might lose himself a footman, and yes he does. Blade Master is level 2, so Critical Strike is most likely the second ability. Shadowhunter comes out as the second hero of Fly. Pretty expected, as well the control abilities that the Shadowhunter brings is probably a lot more useful than the Turn Chieftain. Alright, tier 2 nearly done. Infi has yet to place down a blacksmith, so I have no idea if he's gonna go rifle casters or not. It could just be the standard casters. So, yeah, again, wait and see. Bestiary has been placed down. Warmill at the back there as well. No signs of a Sparrow Lodge just yet, but of course it's always important to get that Bestiary down first, as that is pretty much the solid front line of your army. Shadowhunter's out. It seems like the Blade Master might be able to get himself another footman killed there, as the Shadowhunter deals with the other one with a pretty nice hex, and Infi is going to be forced to run away before he gets frogged. Alright, Beastmaster comes out as the second hero of Infi, so it's pretty aggressive playstyle for him. Potential towers, the Beastmaster does slightly indicate that sort of playstyle. Beastmaster is also just generally great against orcs anyway, since you can like send in invisible pigs and just go after those orc burrows. But of course, Beastmaster needs level 3 for those pigs to actually work well. Seems the Spirit Lodge did get cancelled, so it's actually turning out really bad for Fly. Fly's been on the defensive for a little while now. He's at tier 2 for a good 1 or 2 minutes, and he has yet to finish his tier 2 buildings, which is really problematic. Meanwhile, Infi, unchallenged, has already gone down his first sanctum and second sanctum, and well, that's kind of bad, I think. Fly is going to struggle quite a bit against the human army. I mean, like, orcs, I would say orcs struggle quite a bit against a tier 2 human army. Pretty much every race struggles against a tier 2 human army because it's so well rounded, and you only need like 1 or 2 different production buildings, sanctum, and I guess maybe barracks or workshop. So yeah, the Archmage is going to share experience with the Beastmaster. I would have expected the Beastmaster to actually take the full experience here, but oh well. Wand of Mana Stealing and the Mantle of Intelligence gets picked up there. Blade Master will claim himself one of those footmen, and the Beastmaster could be in a bit of trouble. He is gonna tag the Blade Master with a dust, so yeah, probably dangerous to stick around for the Blade Master. He only has 1 more Windwalk left in him, and that is also a danger in itself because Wand of Mana Stealing can actually screw that up a little bit. Scroll of Healing will be picked up by the Blade Master. Beastmaster doesn't have any more dust, so it's a potential steal here. Let's see where the Hex actually gets tossed onto. It seems the Blade Master is just going to go straight after those low hit point footmans. Level 2 on the Beastmaster, potential Hawk there. Kodo Beast is out for Fly as well. Unfortunately, he's not going to eat anyone just yet. If he is going to eat someone, it should definitely be the Troll Berserker or an Elemental. It is indeed going to be an Elemental. So the Elemental, it's always funny. Just a little trivia, I guess. If you're gonna devour the Elemental and completely not fight, then I don't think it's absolutely worth it, because the elemental, I'm pretty sure, expires before it gets digested. So the Blade Master going straight after those sources, but that's a lot of spellcasters there for Infi. Not enough, actually not even at all. No Spirit Walkers out for Fly, so that is a bit of a problem, and disenchants are absolutely necessary to just get rid of those slows. But yeah, Spirit Walker number 1 is now coming out, but he's probably doesn't have enough mana to actually do anything, I guess. He doesn't even have the adept training, so he can't even disenchant. Alright, here's the towers that we all know Infi for. Lumber Mill is done, so the guard towers will be popping out very soon, unless, of course, Fly can actually deal with that. Blade Master trying to go absolutely berserk against these vulnerable units, but the slow is making him have to work for it pretty badly. It seems like Infi is going to choose to TP home, though, and that is an interesting decision. It seems like he didn't bring enough units with him, or at least he needs those Spellbreakers. I would say the Spellbreakers are pretty necessary to just hold the melee units back for Fly, I think. More trolls that are being added to the mix. I like the trolls because they deal piercing damage against these unarmored units, but the troll did get cancelled, so we can have Berserker's Strength being researched for those grunts / raiders. Alright, Fly has a lot of resources in the bank. He could definitely maybe go for an expansion. It's very unorthodox for an Orc-Human matchup, but it is a possibility. It seems like he's just going to maybe stock up for a low upkeep army instead. Sobi Mask on the Shadow Hunter. He also has a couple of Clarity Potions as well. Something worth noting, which I didn't actually note before. Blade Master's already plus 12 attack. He has plus 16 because of that Warsong Battle Drum, but yeah, it's decently buffed Blade Master. And we see the first Spellbreakers coming out for Infi. I imagine Magic Sentry should be researched soon, as, well, Infi is placing down random towers everywhere. Frenzy Beast is moving out and could potentially go after these Orc Burrows. Not potentially, it is actually going after these burrows. Not activating Frenzy, however. I think it is on cooldown. Either way, Fly is going for low upkeep. And he is going to deal with this red creep camp in the bottom left. So hopefully he can get a pretty good item from here. It's going to be pretty tough because, well, both heroes are actually out of inventory space. And we are going to have the Orb of Darkness. So an interesting item being dropped there for the Blade Master. Unlike the black arrows of the Dark Ranger, I believe you have to get the killing blow in order to summon that skeleton, and for the Blade Master it should be no problem for him. You can see there that the Frenzy Beast dealing a ton of damage against that one Orc Burrow, bringing over 5 peons by itself, so that is a bit of a problem. Fortunately it won't be able to destroy it, but it just shows the annoyance of those Frenzy Beasts. Alright, towers being placed down, possible attempt at an expansion there, but just not yet for this so far. It seems like the main army of Infi is ever again just farming. It seems like Fly is looking for an offensive. Forward Voodoo Lounge being placed down as well, so it seems pretty much of a commitment there for Fly. Another Frenzy Beast joins in on the fray, but he will expire very soon. The keep is now being under siege. Of course it takes plenty of damage from those raiders as they do deal siege, and it seems like the fight will begin. 56 versus around 60ish for Fly there, so obviously the Orc army is a lot bigger, but this is home territory, and that's a very good Blizzard, which is not being microed away from Fly. Oh, instead he just goes for the Ensnare to interrupt. He needs more Ensnares if he wants to deal with that. Otherwise, he just needs to move out of the way. Funnily enough, Infi is dealing damage to his own Ultra of Kings, so pretty funny there. I'm surprised that Fly's not actually just going to deal the killing blow to the altar. There we go with another Blizzard there, as Infi hopes to get one of those low hit point trolls. Another Ensnare. Goes for the cancel, but then again, it doesn't matter too much. The Altar of Kings is destroyed. The Blade Master is very low on health, but he is going to pop this Scroll of Healing, I believe. Again, he is still very low on health. He doesn't have the Orb of Darkness anymore. I believe he did sell that earlier on. Another Scroll of Healing, I believe, was used by the Shadow Hunter. And we are... I don't know. This fight seems a little troublesome for Fly here. He is getting whittled down quite a bit, and the Shadow Hunter is not actually tossing out as many heals as he would like, I guess. And the Blizzard, of course, the Blizzard doing an absolute monstrous amount of damage there. Hex will go for the interrupt, but of course the the Archmage with a double sub-mask can always go back and Blizzard the crap out of the entire army once again. And there we go. Codebeast needs to eat something as well, but I guess it just can't reach. Blade Master level 4 does have the invulnerability potion, and it seems like Fly will actually TP back home. He is going to lose a couple of Spirit Walkers in the retreat. Shadowhunter did reach level 4 in that fight as well, but yeah, sadly that was not a good fight for Fly. He lost quite a bit, and the Blizzard was an absolute MVP of the fight there for Infi. So double Sobi Mask, you can see how quickly the mana regen on that Archmage works. Of course, the mana regen would be a lot more important if the Archmage was level 6, mass teleport, you know, into this game and do all these sort of neat little tricks, but yeah, games rarely go long enough for an Archmage to be level 6, so yeah, I wouldn't hold my breath on that. The Sobi Mask will be dropped by the Rock Golem in the top right, and that will be given over to the Shadow Hunter, a very, very useful item for the Shadow Hunter as well. Be able to toss out, you know, enough healing waves and hexes to just deal with this pretty difficult human army. Lots of priests, lots of sorceresses, not as many spellbreakers as I would have thought, but it seems to be working for Infi. Once again, the double frenzy quill beasts are being very annoying. Here we go with the little fight there. The Blade Master can't really find an easy opening for I guess an initiation on a Windwalk strike, as the Hawk is in the air and he does have true sight. Lots of slows on the Orc army already, and I'm surprised that Fly just doesn't disenchant that. I guess he's out of mana or something. The Kodo Beast, you heard it there. It tried to devour as best he could, and there we go. Third time's the charm. But constant ensnares on the Archmage. I have no idea if ensnare actually reveals him or not, but yeah, he just kept getting ensnared. Invulnerability potion will be used, and there we go with the dust from the Shadow Hunters, which is going to be pretty good. Infi is actually going to lose his Archmage. That might be the turning point there. The Kodo Beast is going to get focused down. Level 5 on the Blade Master, so level 3 Windwalk is available, and yeah, this is the problem with not enough spellbreakers, I think. The casters aren't doing enough damage to deal with the Orc threat, and it seems like the Beastmaster is going to get taken down, maybe. There we go with another ensnare, as he is dusted and he will get taken down. More blizzards coming down, but the ensnares will keep interrupting. It seems like a GG will be coming down for Infi, and Fly surprisingly wins this game, taking down the heroes 3 times, and that is gonna be game. Alright, so that was a really well played game from Fly. I would say Infi, he could have easily won as well, but yeah, the Blade Master was pretty strong, OP. Anyway, I'll see you guys in game 2. Yeah.